And the black lady goes, "That's some white people shit." And I was like, "Lady, you got a fat pussy," in front of her whole family.
Yeah.
To a black. Now,
wow.
There's a difference.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Justin, your last name?
Essenmacher.
Essenmacher. It was that simple.
Thank you.
I thought it was more confusing.
A lot of people do.
I get because Jason Rouse.
Yeah.
They want to say Ruse.
Yeah.
Rose.
I always thought it was Jason Rouse.
Yeah.
It flows.
You clearly went to school.
Yeah, I did.
In Detroit?
No, so, yeah, I went to school in Michigan, and I went to Richmond High School, which is just a farm, like high school, just small town. I came from
like what, small, 3,000 people, small town?
Yeah. Well, the school, I mean, it's not that big. My class was like 180. I come from the Detroit comedy scene, and then...
Bragger?
I'm not bragging. It's like...
Who's come out of Detroit? The White Stripes?
Yep.
Comedically.
Comedically... shit.
And I just want to hear, because I know you've got some...
I don't know. I know there's some legendary comedians from Detroit, like Howie Bell. He's kind of legendary, right?
First of all, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
What black Detroit comedians are legends? Because there's no white guys that are famous.
That makes sense.
Eminem.
You know, maybe I spoke up with them. Maybe it's too deep into the comedy scene where it's they're legends in Detroit.
For sure.
And I know of them. Mm-hmm. Like Josh Adams is one. He's probably like the funniest comedian in Michigan.
Yeah.
Boogie, Kool-Aid passed away, but
Kool-Aid.
You know Kool-Aid?
Is he white?
No, he's black. There's a white guy named Snow Cone.
Oh, I know Snow Cone.
Snow Cone with the harmonica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Snow Cone when he had hair.
That's a long time ago.
Totally a long time ago, because the last Sunday of every month in Toronto is the Nubian Disciples of Prior, the all-black comedy show.
Okay.
Longest running comedy show in the country, probably most popular comedy show in the country. And they ran out of black comics in Canada very quickly. So they had this super successful comedy event where I never seen lineups, like the store was a few years ago.
Yeah.
This looked like a New York or LA comedy event. Mm-hmm. And Kenny Robinson, the creator of the show, would bring guys in from Detroit and New York.
Yeah.
Very few came in from LA. I don't know what it was, but you had like Patrice, you know, Big J. Okerson, Snow Cone, fucking Kevin Hart was like the first person I've ever seen do an hour and a half on one breath. Like I've never seen, because the Canadian standard was like 2-hour show, but over the last 10 years, it started to end up being a 90-minute show.
Yeah.
But it was like 15, 30, 50 for the entire show. Mm-hmm. And I've totally lost my train of thought. I got a new sponsor. Absolute Extracts.
Absolute Extracts.
You want to try this?
I would love to try this.
I think I got the fucking indica one. And I'm washed out now. I feel like I'm drooling into the microphone while I'm smelling it.
I'm a big sativa.
I'm all sativa. I'll do a couple hybrids once in a while.
Yeah, I'm not like, I'm already tired. And then when
it's called the dredge of life.
Yes, life is like hard, and then people are like, smoke this indica. I'm like, dude, we're trying to do some fun stuff. Like, I like to not feel my body, and I'm like, I just want to laugh.
Some people want to. Hey, look, some people like meth.
Yeah.
Some people like edibles.
Yeah.
Now I don't know chemically they couldn't be more farther apart from each other.
Yeah.
A plant that's ground up, and I don't know what the hippies do. They boil it and pour it through cheesecloth and make that butter, and then you
Yes.
end up like a 7,000 milligram brownie,
Yeah.
which will probably cause just as much trouble as a hit off the glass on a pipe. If you eat 2 large edible cookies,
Yes.
or smoke a gram of meth, you're going to probably have similar results.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never done meth.
What?
Never done meth. People mostly think that about me. I think they look at me like...
your teeth are fine. Your teeth are actually very good. They're actually
you.
suspiciously symmetrical and even.
braces.
Over here, your mouth must have been out of control because you got a full set of ivories up front.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is my mouth is too small, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm missing like 4 adult teeth or something, or more than that.
They moved everything up front.
The canines were like growing like up here.
Ooh.
So my mouth was all jacked.
Yeah.
And then they had to spread it and also take teeth out. So I'm happy about it.
How many extractions?
A lot. I remember the last one. I was
More
like, they
than
took
4?
Yeah, more than 4. They've taken a lot of teeth out of my mouth, and it's just a thing. But I'm happy. I got nice teeth now.
Yeah.
So I get compliments. I'm happy about the compliment. I need compliments to get through the day, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes me feel better.
Like what we were talking about earlier is you seem to be like a target.
Yes.
Generally.
There you go. You nailed it.
What is it? You seem like a happy person, but underneath all that, you're like, oh, here comes a shithead. You know that
Yes.
you're going to get about 10 a day in some form.
Yes.
Checkout lineup, comedy audience,
Yep.
general prick on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
My family hates me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself now.
But you sounded like you were describing me too. So I don't think my family hates me. I just know that I do disappoint people a
Let's
lot.
call your mother right now. Let's go to the clip.
Speaking, I was just talking to my mom before I came here, and on Monday, I actually I bought this ticket to go to New York to because at my job I was helping this bachelorette party, right? Small bachelorette party.
What is the job that you'd be involved with?
I'm a
some of
server.
the worst people in the world.
I'm a server.
Because look, I'm a big fan of the ladies, but when
Me
you
too.
when you cunts get together,
Yeah.
now you're a gang.
Yes.
She wants this. I want that.
Yeah.
You are a slave because there's more cunts on a wagon over here. Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? It's bullying.
Yeah, and then you also have to decide which cunt or bully you want to ruin your life that day.
And some days you know what? Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You want to see this? You think you're the first
Yeah.
shit lip that I've had to deal with just because you haven't been out in 4 years because your marriage is a fucking disaster.
Thank you.
You're 70 pounds overweight.
Yes.
You've overextended yourself in catering, and now you've halfway through a bottle of wine, and you haven't drank in 10 years.
Yeah.
And now you're angry at me because the peach cobbler has got a hair on it from my asshole because you've been so difficult to deal with for the last 4 hours at this shitty wedding.
Yes.
I've been following you for years. Server,
Yeah.
why would you bring that on to you? Like, as a comedian, you have a completely different perspective on the general public.
I do. Well,
But
that's
now you put yourself behind enemy lines. And do you ever stand up and go, listen, bitch,
Yes.
I talk to thousands of people a week effortlessly.
Yeah.
And now it's you
Yeah.
are the problem in my world.
Yes,
You
I
must
don't- yeah.
die.
Yeah, and I don't. That's what's sometimes it's bad because I don't hold my shit off. I don't hold my mouth. I don't hold my tongue because I don't. I'm a person, so like I'm a different type of server. I'll fuck with you, and I will let you know how I feel.
But I expected, you'll argue your point,
Yes,
and you're the kind of person I can't argue my point.
I always argue my point, and that's why it's
I know.
bad. It's so bad.
Yeah,
It gets me into a lot of shit.
yeah, but at least you have a rigid compass. I respect that over somebody that's a fair weather.
Yeah,
I don't engage at that level with people because it escalates.
to bad stuff, which usually, and that's what I've been trying to hone in my whole life. It's like always think about what you say before you say it, and then but sometimes I don't. But also, like, yeah, the rigid compass
But
thing,
you're
the way I was
negotiable.
raised, I'm negotiable.
You're not Karen-esque.
Yeah,
It's
no.
freak out You want dialogue.
I like dialogue, and I don't, but I also defend myself whenever when someone comes at me, and it's usually
That's growing up in like the Detroit area.
Yeah.
You can if you lose street credibility amongst your peers, you're
Yeah.
done.
yeah.
So you have to at least pull position of like, look I'm going to outsmart. Oh, I heard my Canadian. You've been to Windsor.
I've been there a few times when I was young. I never
Drinking?
went to Canada when I was drinking age. I grew up bowling, and we always went over there to do tournaments because I
Yeah.
we lived like 40 minutes from the Port Huron side.
Was
whatever.
Was Kingpin's your Happy Gilmore?
Kind of, but no, Happy Gilmore beats Kingpin for sure. Happy Gilmore is my
Really?
yeah.
Okay, shot in
Kingpin's
Vancouver,
cool.
by the way.
Huh? It was?
Yeah, because I was living in Vancouver when they were filming that. It was a big thing. Same
Happy
with
Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore and like Jumanji. I remember seeing Robin Williams walking with his co-star by the Pacific, a hotel near the waterfront in Vancouver, and I was like, "Fuck,
That's so cool.
he's right there. He's walking, having
Yeah.
a nice chat, walking around
Yeah.
by himself," and I just couldn't believe it. I was gearing up to start my first comedy performance and seeing Robin Williams. But anyway, I've got squirrels running around in my head, so
It's all good.
bear with me.
I am.
Women spitting on you in public.
yeah.
No, but you do have to, Detroit is Michigan area. I don't know. 'Cause
So it was, I grew up in the Detroit comedy scene. I didn't grow up in Detroit, you know what I mean? So it's different. I grew up in like country road,
Yeah.
like farm. I'm surrounded by farms.
Yeah.
And then I started doing comedy in Detroit. And
how old were you when you started?
25.
25, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started when I was 25. And then I just wanted to start doing time wherever I could find it.
Were you around at that time? Where, we might have talked about this before. Coco's Comedy Club off of Jefferson
No.
in Detroit. It was this
No.
black room it was the biggest comedy venue I've seen, next to a theater.
No,
That
I
was
think it might have
terrifying.
been shut down when
Yeah.
I started doing it. But I started doing like black rooms when I was like, as soon as I started comedy, like within 6 months. So I had no idea what I was doing.
Was
And
this just to accumulate stage time? You're
Yes.
like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was looking for anything where I could go up, and I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was funny then in 6 months, but I was terrible. But I learned a lot of shit, and I would go to like places like there's a scary place called Mandy's, which is nicknamed Murder Mandy's.
Murder Man.
It's on 6 Mile or something, 6.5 mile down in like on the outskirts of like Detroit and Hamtramck, which as soon as you turn left, you're like, I should not be here.
Yeah.
And then security looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing here? And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you-
I'm doing comedy. And then
Have you ever run into this? Because it's happened to me where I've gone to a black club and they told me I was at the wrong club and I was headlining it that night. Yeah, they go, you're at the wrong club. I had to get the promoter to come out and bring me in. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have like my comedian friends like come grab me because security's like, yo, dude, there's a $20 cover. And you're like, I heard it's free. And they're like, well, not for you, buddy.
Yes.
And then my
right
friends
to
would be
the
like,
face.
yeah. And then the friends would come out and be like, stop fucking with him. He's trying to do comedy. and then like we would go, and then we went once, and the second time we went without our friend, and he's like, don't ever go without me. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't even like going there. So you'd go there.
I don't even like going there.
Yeah, like it was bad, man. You just get heckled all the time by these
Yeah.
drunk people just telling you suck. Getting booed off stage. I'd go to a place called Baker's. That was always fun.
Was it a sports bar or something like that, or an actual comedy venue?
Baker's Keyboard Lounge is a jazz lounge, like a legendary jazz lounge in Detroit. And on Mondays, Kool-Aid would run a show. It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
It was free, sold out every Monday. Huge. And all of us, like, young comics would go.
It's
and
crazy that when you say that, like the industry never picked up on these guys.
No, and
they're
that's what's-
packing asses and
Yeah.
they go, we can do this all over the world.
Yeah, and it's the shitty part about that because the Monday show at Baker's Keyboard Lounge, it was so intense and fun, and there's so many good comics in Michigan that just get overlooked, and the industry doesn't go out to Detroit, and you're like, these are some of the funniest things you've ever seen. And then you go to bigger scenes, and you're like, Detroit, people in Detroit need to get out of Detroit.
How do you think Detroit is necessary? It's a Canada.
Yeah.
There's so many Canadian comics that are
Yeah.
super good. They get slept on all the time.
Yeah, we're slept on, and I think the really sucky part about it is that we keep getting slept on, but also people keep going, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. They'll find me, and it's like, no, they don't give a shit because it's like there's so much talent coming to these cities. It's like, why do we got to go out there? Even though Detroit should be showcased more, I think it's one of the toughest scenes. It's one of the funnest scenes, and you can do a lot of time. And there's a lot of good comics in it. It's like I'm happy I like moved out when I was like 5 years into comedy. I went to LA,
What year did you move to LA?
right before COVID. So 2000. Yeah, I moved out October. It would be 2019 then, right?
That's not too bad though. Like the fact that you only had to eat a year of a sidestep. Some people there long-term leases, bad relationships, like
Exactly.
multiple layers of quicksand.
Yeah, and
Terrible environment, terrible thing.
Yes, and I didn't plan shit to go there. Like,
did you go by yourself or did you bring somebody?
Yeah, I went by myself, and it was my first year moving. Like, it was my first time in my life really moving away from my family.
What?
Like, it was big. Because I was like, I'm like, dude, I'm 29. If I don't move by 30,
Were you living at home at 29? What the hell, man? I was kicked out when I was 15.
Yeah, see,
I've been living on my own since I was 15.
and people always go, how are you living it with your parents? And I'm like, dude, I'm never home anyway.
Yeah.
I'm always working. Like, so I served during
First of all,
the
I got
day
no
and night.
wife and kids.
Yeah.
And I like my parents.
Yeah.
And there's my mother's cooking or whatever comforts. I get it for the greater good of being a successful comedian because you don't have the, you're looking at your monthly overhead. Okay, my rent, I'm paying an extra $1,000 on my rent when I could just stay at my parents' place.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's like, it's not, I just got an empty room for long periods of time.
And that's
it's
what,
a pain in the ass to Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah. It's not cool. Yeah. So, and everybody was like, you live at home. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I'm concentrating on myself.
People are just jealous of the fact that your parents like you.
Yeah. Like my parent, like my dad, like it's crazy because he's like, go chase the dream. Like they're always supportive. And they're like, I mean, dude, worst comes to worst, you can just come back.
Wow.
Like, I mean,
your parents really like you.
Yeah.
Are you the only one?
No, I'm the middle one. That's why I'm the black sheep. I have an older brother, younger sister.
They're worried about you killing yourself if things go sideways.
Yes.
So your parents' house is more or less a mental hospital for you, right?
Yeah, it's a good place to go for me because it's like I get some good sleep.
Does your room still look the same since '84?
No,
because you weren't born.
No, I was born in '90, but I did have sports. I did have a sports banner, like the wallpaper up till I was like 16, 17.
Yeah. There's something comfortable, like there was a bed I used to sleep in my uncle's old bedroom, and there was something about that room when you walk in. They never changed anything for like 30 years.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'd feel actually falling into I felt younger.
Yeah.
Because my mind would go back and I feel my body chemically changing because of the environment that I was in was so...
It's
Is
calming.
it tactile or I could touch it?
Yeah.
Time.
I liked it. It calms me down. It gives me a sense of base, like a home.
Do you scream in the shower?
I do scream in my car and in the pillows. I've done that. Yes.
You look like a screamer.
Yeah. There's a lot of anger inside me. Yeah.
Is it the clenched fist with the shaky head?
No. It's like a screaming, piercing.
Okay.
I need to
Head
let it
up,
out.
like-
Yeah. There's
Screaming at the
Yeah.
stars.
I'll be in my car like having bad.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I
I
used
take
to be.
that out on the audience.
I do that too, in certain ways, and that's when like, if you ever see me on stage and like a heckler, like I don't care if people heckle me. I like fucking with people who are heckling me, but there's also a thing of like, I don't try to engage with people as much as I want to because they're gonna step on like a trap and then I'm gonna fucking go off the rails because they disrespected me and I'm like, fuck, all right, let's go.
You're allowing them to take your steering wheel.
Yeah, and I don't let them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now you're in a tug of war trying to drive the car.
Sometimes I set the hook. Sometimes I'm fishing for it where you're like, all right, let's fuck with somebody.
Sometimes you got to set a bear trap to leave. Oh, this guy's been in a menace the entire show.
Yes.
I'm going to chug along. I know he's going to step in my little dance here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to set up a wood chipper for him to fall into with a trap door.
And it's fun.
It's fun. I love fucking torturing people.
Yeah, and some people like don't realize like I think some people want it to be fast and quick, and they don't realize they've been the problem the whole show, and no one has said anything. I don't know how. This is a big thing with Austin comedy. I've noticed. It's like, or LA too. It was like people let hecklers heckle them, and the only way they shut them down is go, "Hey man, stop."
Yeah, because they're out of work actors.
You're like,
Don't
hey, man,
confuse them.
don't ruin my set, man. And it's like,
Yeah, that's an actor. That guy
bury
looks at
them.
it. Somebody's shouted out during his monologue.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a comedy act.
it's
a
fun.
monologue.
Do you watch the people that like get heckled and they're like, come on, man, stop,
Yeah.
stop, and then they go right back into their bit.
Yeah.
And everybody's lost because they're like, dude,
I lived in LA for 13 years.
yeah,
In Hollywood
that's
for over a decade.
How did you survive?
I know. And I can see you revisiting those few months that you were there. You're like, how did you get last that
Yeah,
long?
no, I didn't plan shit when I moved. I thought I did, but I didn't. I ended up like the
LA
first few
takes-
days I was homeless.
Yeah.
I found I got my house.
No one will help
randomly.
you.
No,
No one will help you, and they'll try and rip you off along the entire way.
Yeah.
It's such a scam.
it's a lot of, hey man, be my friend, but when you need them, bye bye.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Or even worse is their wolf in sheep's clothing, and you find
Yes.
out they're con man, scam
My
artists.
landlord was a piece of
Landlords.
shit. She was a cunt, whore, piece of shit.
And they know that you guys are coming in
Yeah.
on a daily basis. $1,000 here, $200 there, service. Yeah, I had to run in with multiple people. I had to have a friend come over as an eyewitness so I wouldn't lose my shit because I
Yeah.
knew they were jockeying for position to fuck me with some bullshit added nonsense.
I just don't get why people have to do that shit, because it's like we can all make money, we can all do what we want, but then there's these shitty people who are just so fucking greedy and don't care about nobody.
LA's been legendary at attracting the shittiest people.
Yes, and yeah,
It's an
Yeah.
actor's environment, so you're dealing with so many different levels of disingenuousness.
Yes.
This. I went to school in the Pittsburgh of Canada, so my education and my diction and my thesaurus is very thin. There's not a lot going on in there. That's
Yeah,
why I dabble. My whole palette of painting is shit, piss, and blood.
okay,
I throw a little cum in there to keep the ladies happy, but
that's nice. Yeah,
I do what I can. I don't have a large female fan base. I can see you girls would like you're classic now.
Thank you,
You're the it as far as the whites go.
thank you.
There's a few of you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen your comedy. I've only got to see you live like a couple of times, but I have watched your videos.
Okay.
I think I watched it. It might
It's
have
a
been
mess.
like, yeah, I might have watched your special. Do you have a special, or have you been on TV or something?
I've done a bunch Showtime,
Right.
HBO,
Okay, yeah, I watched one of those.
a couple of those small networks.
Yeah, I watched. Yeah, just a small network. But I remember watching one of your videos. It's like you're.
What did I look like? Because now I'm dissecting myself.
I think a little bit younger.
Okay.
You might have been a little bit
Was it
younger.
an hour long or a short 10-minute thing?
It was a short clip. I think you posted it, and I saw it. It was just the way you were working with people and how I think you were talking about rape and the pepper spray.
Think-
Your pepper spray.
Oh, Montreal Just for Laughs Festival. Nasty show.
Oh, yeah. That's
2007.
not just a little bitty. It was just a little show that you did.
Can I brag a little
You
more?
please, because
'Cause
that's badass.
this is not only badass as a comedian, but as a fan of comedy.
Yeah.
Here it is. Host, okay?
Okay.
Nick DiPaolo.
Okay. Dude,
That's
am I
the
supposed to know
host.
him?
You don't know who
I feel
Nick
like an asshole
DiPaolo
now.
is?
I
You're a
feel really-
total
I feel like a dick.
asshole.
I
Well,
am.
He probably would hate you at a glance anyway.
Probably. Most people do.
Nick DiPaolo, Chris Neff,
Okay.
Joe DeRosa,
Okay.
Otto and George, Puppet Act,
Okay.
rest your soul. Myself and Patrice O'Neill.
You opened up for Patrice?
Well, the Nasty Show.
Yeah. Wait, is that the famous Patrice O'Neill act that he did at the National? Was he in a yellow suit?
He was doing his warm ups for Elephant in the Room.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think because I think that was filmed too, right?
Yes.
With I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that was a
That was-
crazy year.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's good for you.
The green room was just like it was all murderers row. It was fun. It was like seeing a kind of a fringe tribe. You're getting extreme successes
Yeah.
from like legendary comics, and then the underlings of pirates all around it. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was like the bad kids table
Yeah.
in the next room. You know,
And they're having all the fun and all the
Totally
stiffs
fun.
are like, I want to be part of that.
totally
What is so you hung out with Patrice O'Neill?
for many
Like-
many times.
How is
Well, I spent almost 2 weeks with him.
really?
Yeah. I'm very successful.
That's what
You seem surprised.
No, I'm not. I'm surprised in a. I've heard about you. I've heard about your success. I've seen some of your things.
No, you hear about me. No one really talks about the successes, but that's fine.
No, but I'm interested. This is why, I'm asking because it's very cool because Patrice, one of the, greatest, and it's cool to see that you know him personally. And I just
I wouldn't say we were friends.
but you know of it. You've had many conversations.
I've probably logged 100 hours next to that man.
Wow. What is it like? Is he just the funniest person you've ever met in person?
Malicious.
Malicious?
Malicious. Like
So all the stories you hear about Patrice, true.
tenfold. Tenfold. You can't. The man walks quietly and carries a big stick.
Yeah.
And especially the cellar table, the infamous.
Have you been on the
wolf
cellar?
pit.
Have you been to the cellar table? Have you been at the cellar table?
I haven't sat at that table. No.
Okay.
Anytime I've ever gone there, it's like, what am I going to do? There's Dave Attell, Louis C.K., the owner and stuff. Could you guys shove a cheek?
Yeah.
So I could, not. I don't know. No. I don't. I'm pretty solo
Yeah.
person in general.
I could see that. I could feel that from you. You seem pretty
I
solo.
I do my own thing. I have friends and stuff, but as far as occasionally, I'll start a gang.
I saw that cult leader. Are you?
I'm
or
working on
cult?
that. That's
You're working on
that's
that.
different from gang leader.
Is it?
So,
what would be the difference between gang leader and cult leader?
A gang leader. That's a good point. Let me think about that. A gang leader is in charge of a army.
Okay.
A cult leader is in charge of the opposite of a militant. They're submissive. They're yes people. Where the soldiers, they're feral.
Okay.
They're they're wilder.
Okay.
Cult people. Yeah, it's a very
Yes.
Jesus thing going on there
Okay.
of worship, where you're lying to people to get them to do things you want. Where if you're a gang leader, you tell them what to do or you will kill them.
Okay.
Not physically.
But I understand. Yeah, that's okay. That's a little different. Yeah.
I recruit small lineups of comedians and then take them on the road with me for short periods of time, and then they don't talk to me for 6 months because they can't deal with normal people because I've waterboarded them with Clockwork Orange.
Wow, that seems intense.
I like to keep it intense.
But that's good. Is it also keeping it intense in a?
I'm intense.
Learning- yeah.
I need to be around. I need people upset and uncomfortable.
Yes.
And to for the cause.
Yeah, are they learning?
Yes.
How to deal with it on stage? And are you trying to get them out of? Are you trying to get these people out of their shell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other comfort zones.
Yes,
So
and
that they evolve.
Be true.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing that. Yes.
You're my prisoner. Oh, you want to do comedy? I do comedy.
Yeah.
My coattails are really short, but if you get on them, you're subjected to all the things that I have around me and do.
Yeah.
And you will learn.
Yes, and that's
Then to this month,
yeah.
I've been doing comedy 25 years.
Wow. Applaud you.
In 25 countries. These guys, I'm talking to people in Canada, comics. You met Brett, who's on my couch,
Yeah.
They're trying to book gigs within the country. I'm like, you need to...
Expand.
Yeah, there's no water in the well
Yeah.
right now. And it won't be for a long time.
We're in here?
In Canada.
Oh, in Canada.
This Austin, as you know,
Yeah.
especially coming from Los Angeles, this place is all well water.
Yeah. That's why I
It's
think
flooding out. People are abusing the well.
yeah.
They're peeing a little bit and
Yeah.
throwing gum in it, but they don't know that there's no wells anywhere else.
Yeah,
There's no
and
water.
yes, that actually, that makes sense because I think a lot of people here, you hear about the people
They
saying
don't shower or brush their hair.
Yeah.
You probably went up 2 notches just by having a full set of teeth and some fashion sense. Because there's
Yes.
slobs here.
There is slobs here. There's slobs. There's slobs everywhere. There's slobs everywhere. I don't actually understand adults that don't take care of themselves,
No.
but apparently,
No.
and that's the fun. I think that's there's a thing
You
of
look
why,
like a thrift store manager, yet you made an effort. And
Yes.
there's
I
some
took a
thought
shower.
behind it.
I took a shower and I
can
did
see
my
you're
hair,
clean.
and
you
then
put your
people-
blue contact lenses in.
These are clear.
Oh, sorry, Susan.
Hey, these are beautiful blue eyes that are all natural.
No, they
baby.
are natural. You have great skin,
Thank you.
and you look like a fighter pilot from the 40s.
Yeah, if I put my glasses on, I look just like that.
Oh, this is where we'll just put in the
Yeah, the ad.
ad. Absolute abstracts.
Absolute abstracts.
Yeah, right.
Get it today. It will make you feel
try
calm.
it.
Huh? Yeah, try it.
A little goes a long way with these things.
Yeah?
You gotta be careful because you like the indicas to the sativas, but it's the cleanest way to do that. I think so, but I don't like it that much.
You can cut that out.
I don't know. No, like I like this is the boutique.
These are
shit.
what the young white kids need and want in their life.
Yeah.
And they're all cool. And this is what's happening with everybody. Everybody has a pen.
There's
Everybody
mar-
smokes weed now. Did you know that? I feel like almost everybody smokes weed.
How many times have you seen cocaine in Austin?
That's like cocaine in Austin's like the new marijuana.
Yes, it's that
And,
crazy.
and everybody's just like, do you want some?
It's
do you
not-
want some?
It's not good.
No.
Do you do
No.
mushrooms?
Done them once.
What?
I've also never said that on
Out loud?
on a podcast.
Do you feel that you've kind of like I had my
I just broke down a barrier now. Now I
Yeah.
just talked about mushrooms.
I
Long- yeah.
had my virginity taken to me from a redhead.
Really?
Yeah.
You
How
want-
gross is that? Out of the gate?
Wait, some redheads? I mean, all
I
women,
know.
all people can be beautiful. All people can be ugly.
Yeah.
So, what,
but you know,
what was it?
redheads, they either are, Rocky Dennis, Mask. Do you
What
know
is-
Rocky Dennis?
No,
Do you know the movie Mask with Cher?
no.
There was a famous story, not a story, it was a true story. It was a documentary and film about a guy who had the Elephant Man disease, and he was a redhead,
Ooh,
double parked.
that's a double. That
Born with 4 foreskins. So it was no. It just looked like someone stapled a bunch of calamari together.
it looked like his dick was a flower.
All right, my mother's gonna watch this.
Shit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. My mom's probably gonna watch it too and be like, Justin, I think you should rethink your career. You're hanging out with a satanist.
Yeah.
Satanist.
Sure,
Is that what that word is?
you can call it whatever you
That's
want.
what she would say. I'm
you
not gonna
worship the goat.
I like that.
Yeah, worship the goat. Who
That's
doesn't
actually-
love a good goat?
I don't know.
Do you
I-
follow anything? I don't want to say that your family was Christian, but you
Yeah,
had some.
we
more,
were nailed it. Catholic, Christian, whatever the one is.
Can I guess some more things that
Please.
I couldn't possibly know about you?
Yeah,
Do you have an older sister that's blonde?
I have a younger sister that's blonde.
Okay. Is she tall?
She's pretty tall.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I want to say Sandra, but it's not Sandra, is it? I see either an
Maybe-
S at the end or the beginning.
It's not the. It's like, it's kind of in that.
If you had to put-
it would kind of almost be like Sandra, but if you say it a little bit different, but it's not. I'm not giving. I don't want to give it away because I
Don't
want to
gi-
be blown away.
Yeah.
I want to be like my mind blown right now.
Fuck. I'm getting a little compromise from the weed, but we'll come back to something weird. I usually do this.
That's cool though. Yeah.
I'm working
Please
on
guess.
some stuff. I had some crazy. I got some recordings that are a little unnerving.
Yeah, I just actually before you even said that, like 15 minutes ago, I felt a little deja vu here.
Yeah,
It was weird.
I have that effect on people because I don't really engage with people. This is part of an experiment.
Actually,
For me.
it was when you messaged me.
You're like, what is this fucking animal?
No, I was
want?
excited.
Yeah,
I was excited
because you've never been to a haunted house before.
never.
You do look like the guy.
I used to
who
work in a
lives-
haunted house though.
What?
Like I mean, like the Halloween like chainsaw guy.
That's great.
I was a chainsaw guy.
You were a
I was
chainsaw
I was
guy?
a clown guy with a chainsaw. It was fun.
That's awesome because all those I know a lot of it. It used like in Niagara Falls on Lundy's Lane.
Yeah.
it's like vampires, wax museum, all these.
I always wanted to
different
go
things.
there.
It's fantastic,
I bet.
and I mean just for the. It's like the fantastic way of going downtown Los Angeles. Like, wow, this is a real mess. Holy shit!
Yeah, that was what's funny about Los Angeles. When you when I vacationed there and I saw Hollywood, beautiful. Views beautiful. Everything was beautiful. Move there, takes a little of the luster away. You know what I mean? It makes it real, and then you're like, oh, this is just all shitty.
Yeah, when you see multiple people shitting outside,
Yeah.
like how many public dumps? It's
Yeah,
bad, right? We're
yeah.
laughing about it, but it's
But
human
yeah.
feces on the sidewalks all the time. It's bad.
They should have signs instead of pick up after your dog. It's like pick up after yourself. Clean up after yourself. Don't shit on the sidewalk. Clean
And
it
they
up.
always leave balled up napkins, so they let you know it was a dog can't ball up napkins. No, and dogs don't wipe.
No, they don't. They just pinch it.
They totally pinch.
And you know a homeless person not having a clean pinch. They eat, what do they eat out of a dumpster?
There's no pinch.
There's no pinch because their butthole's just open.
When you've been raped in the trash, unconscious.
Yes.
Like the sexual assaults in the homeless community. First of all, there shouldn't be any homeless women.
That's
Right?
just stupid women. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. Maybe mentally ill
that true?
women, stupid women.
I'm saying
is that
if
the
you're a
name of your
woman-
one man show?
Yeah, stupid
women.
women. I could see. But are you saying? I was thinking maybe you're saying because women, if they have it easier to, I guess, manipulate people. I think especially men, especially desperate men.
There's a lot of desperate men out here. The
I'm
guys.
desperate.
Are
I
you?
bought that ticket like when I told you about a plane ticket in New York. It was from that bachelorette party. Within 30 minutes, they're like, "You should be my plus one at a wedding," and I bought a ticket. Stupid, right?
What? Some girl
The girls on Monday
liked
night,
you.
the girls love me.
Yeah, that's because you were at that was your look. If someone comes into your neighborhood, they're getting fucked.
Yeah,
And wherever you work is your place of business. So they see you in this status situation, serving women, putting strawberries in their mouth.
Yeah.
They fall in the romance of that. Come there and they see you doing blow in the bathroom with one of the dishwashers at the wedding.
that's not gonna be a good look. They're gonna be like, he's not
Not that guy.
He's not that guy. It's not me, babe. Actually, it is me though. I'm such a romantic, hopeless romantic. I'm like a romantic comedy, and it's bad.
Are you a Tom Hanks movie? When
Desperate, more
Sally-
desperate.
more desperate.
Like Tom Hanks,
Like
he's not
Cable
that
Guy desperate?
No, not that. Not it's like it's a thin line there. I'm like a bad movie where it's like the guy's like he meets the woman of his dreams, but then he loses her because he's too nice.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I'm not an asshole.
That too nice. That's way other people pawn their bullshit on you for
Yeah.
being yourself.
yes,
I
It's not
wasn't
cool.
too anything. I was authentically myself.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at that as too nice, means that you're a shithead.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been dumped for being too nice.
Yeah, and it's a thing where like if you communicate too much, now you're fucking clingy and needy, and it's just no. I just am interested in you, and I want to talk to you.
Yeah, well, sometimes those people have partitions off, and when you knock on someone's door
Yeah.
with honesty enough, it starts to create.
It's
You're
not
the
good.
problem.
Yeah, and that's
It's
not good.
polarizing.
Yeah, I'm too honest. I'm very truthful.
It's
and
not two. You got to change that.
that
It's
makes
not
sense.
two.
It's
Two means
I'm
that
honest.
you have a problem, and you don't. They have a problem.
Yeah, I never thought of it. That
You're
way.
living in a world that isn't very honest and genuine.
I think that's why I'm so
and
shocking.
you get shamed for it.
yeah,
And that was, we're talking about Los Angeles.
yeah,
Is being a real motherfucker is a nuisance to a lot of people.
it is, and it sucks because then you can't be true to yourself because you're like I'm offending everybody, even though I'm just saying it the honest truth.
And also it works the other way. People try and keep it real so much that it's their successes are slacking from it.
Yeah.
And they always got to excuse, I'm just too real for the
Yeah.
audience. Like, oh, they're not my, I'm
Audience.
too dirty for
No,
them.
that's not it.
I wanted to reach all of the people and make them show the truth of, oh, we've all got a dark side.
Yes,
We feel, trust me, I know that these things, I've had to write these things out and look at them. And I'm very aware of what's going on with the dynamic of it, but I want you to subside to a place that you're not comfortable with and yet that you never thought you could go. Or walk out of the club, I don't know.
yeah, and that's the good point is too. You can walk out just if you're not into it, but it's like you never seen this side of things. It's like open your mind and just fucking watch the show. And if you're offended, then this isn't for you.
But first of all, even before that, look, I don't know. People don't just buy random tickets to go see
Yeah.
Slayer.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
What's this band sound like? What are the songs? You could with this. You don't even have to push a button. I think you can talk into your phone and say, "Jason Rouse comedy video,"
and it will show you a video of
and
you.
then it'll pull up the most popular thing that people they do all the legwork, and then you can go within seconds. You know, you're gonna okay. Who else is on the list? I don't know. Maybe this is. I don't like commercials for movies. They don't have commercials for comedians.
No, they don't.
They don't have commercials for comedians.
Yeah.
I wonder if that could be a thing.
I actually I've been
Maybe comedians buying out some advertising space, but this is what podcasting's become.
Yeah,
it's a long version commercial.
I think that's what we're
we
missing.
don't want to
yeah.
do this. We're just like really.
It's just putting your name out there more and more, and just on different.
They want to know
avenues.
everything about
They
us.
do.
These fucking intrusive cocksuckers on the internet. It's like, what more do you want? They want all of it.
They want all of it,
And then they lay it out, and
Yeah.
then they pan it, and they go, "Look, we got him.
Yeah.
He did this."
And then they don't come watch your show, or when they come watch your show, it's like a different thing, and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. And that's what I think with the promotion of comedy. It's just been never there. I've been trying to make promotional stuff, like videos for shows and stuff, because I'm like, we got these cool shows, but we don't make them look cool. We get these chintzy flyers. No one knows how to do flyers that well.
Oh,
it doesn't
I know
look
the
good.
the advertise. First
know
of
what I
all,
mean? Yeah.
the host, the promoter is at the top of the.
Always. They present it, their picture. That's why you come see it. And then the funny thing is, those people that create the shows with their name, like their face on the flyer for a headliner, and they give the headliner, and then that host does like 2 minutes and just goes, "Hey, I'm."
Bombs.
Yeah, they don't even do anything. And
Bombs.
They don't set the show up. And like, but it's my show. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
and it's like, no, dude. If it's your show, be a good comedian. Do your time up front. Set the show. Get the fucking.
They
thing
don't know
rolling.
they don't know what the standard is. See, you
No.
came out of a different comedy
That's
community.
why, and those are where in Detroit they have nights, boogie nights, Tuesday nights.
First of all, you take 50 of the local Austin comics, put
Yeah.
them at boogie nights.
They'll all die. They'll
Dude,
all come out
brutal.
cry.
And first of all, if 3 of them tank in a row, the 4th guy's getting assaulted.
Assault, like they don't even, and then that person's gonna, but the funny thing is too, that 4th person's gonna go
And
on
you know
there.
how bad.
So bad, and that 4th person's still gonna go. He's gonna go, "Hey guys, so I live at home," and they're all like, "Dude, fucking eat my shut the fuck
Yeah.
up, get out of here."
Standing up.
They're like, "No." They're even like, they get the fuck off. And the funny thing with those rooms is that those kids get off stage crying, and they're like, "Man, this audience, they just don't understand comedy." Like, no, the funny thing is they understand comedy. You're just being a bitch right now.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Once you start keep going, and then you get better and you keep getting better, then you get respect. I got more respect in Detroit black rooms than I did in my own hometown.
Yeah.
They love me.
Oh, for sure.
Because I went from scared shitless to I don't care anymore.
And they
confident.
see that. They know.
And they know it.
They know. They
And,
can
yeah,
see.
they sniff fear.
Yeah. And they know, look, especially in that type of audience, it's either very good or very bad.
Yes.
There's no middle
There's no
ground.
in between. You can't
Yeah.
coast ever. You always got to be on your toes. Even if you're doing like fucking great. I always do this thing where I'd come out hot like 3 minutes, and my brain would just go, "Okay, tank's done." And I go, "Here we go. We're about to die." And then I go into a bit, and they're like, "Nope, dude. Boo." After you crush for 3 minutes, and then boo. You get a boo.
Yeah, no. And I don't know what it is. Something about getting yelled at by black women makes me really sad.
You want to know what I said to
They
a black woman
scream-
once?
I
I don't even know, because this is like, if you were there, you were there. But so I was doing a sold out show. A family bought all the tickets for the show, and it was at a black room, and it was a sold out show, and it was a whole family. I got on stage and I forgot that it was a whole family. Well, my intro, I started dancing because there's music, and I was like dancing, and then this big black lady stood up, right? And she started dancing with me, and I was fucking with her. I was like,
you're trying to get into material. And now
I'm trying to
you're
get
in
into
a square
material.
dance.
I'm interesting. I'm like just dancing for my intro.
Yeah.
And she starts dancing, and it's whatever. And I go off. The host was talking about pussy jokes, so I did a pussy joke, right? And that big black woman was like, I said something about lips. I was like, she had that RB pussy or whatever. And the black lady goes, "That's some white people shit." And I was like, "Lady, you got a fat pussy," in front of her whole family.
Yeah.
To a black. Now,
Wow.
there's a difference. There is a thing of like disrespect and certain things are taken out of. I mean, I said that to her in front of like her son, her nephew.
Respect from your
Yeah,
family
from them, like
yeah.
all of them, and like, but
get
it's a different
a family
way of
attack you.
It's
Yeah.
a different way of like I probably could have said it to like a white mom, and
Yeah.
people probably would have been like, huh. But I just basically shit on the whole family, including the main person that runs it, and I said it, and the whole room was like, boo, fuck you, and her nephew walks up to the stage like. Ready to kill me.
Yeah.
He didn't take his eyes off me.
Yeah.
And luckily another comedian had to come talk him down for 5 minutes. And then I kept doubling down. And I said, it's funny, I'm about to get my ass beat by the kid wearing his Sunday school outfit.
Oh.
And that was a good joke. I was like, that's funny. And they were like, no, boo, you suck. And I kept trying.
They wouldn't have it.
No.
It's weird how it can be all of a sudden, like any night, me against you.
Yeah.
And
was
sometimes it's
bad.
pocket. I like it when the audience fights each other.
That's fun.
That's really cool.
But usually it's me. I'm usually getting like, in that sense, I had the whole crowd hate me. But then I got off stage, like the host came and got me because I wasn't going to get off the stage. I don't back down. And then some of the people that were regulars like, dude, that was funny. But the other people were like, no, dude, you suck.
yeah.
And that's just another night in comedy. And then I went back the next day and crushed it, So it's things you live through and the things you learn not to say. And I'm sorry that I said that.
I wouldn't be. I never apologize.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I disrespected an old lady, and she didn't deserve.
First of all,
that.
when was the last time you talked to that fat cunt? Huh? Never again.
Never again. You're
Never
right.
again. See, this is
I
where
fucking meant it.
You
You know-
get in and you
Yeah.
argue it out with some cunt.
Yeah.
And her shithead family.
Yeah. She was making the show about her, but I learned that night though too. She was
What's her
making the
name?
show. I don't know.
I bet you got it written down
I
somewhere
don't
on a
actually.
suicide letter.
I don't have any of those people, but I have seen people have hate people like a list of people that
Oh.
put them down. Have
The
you ever
shit
seen?
list.
Do you have one of those?
I keep one in my head. I
Yeah.
don't write it all down because I don't want anyone to know who I'm going to kill next. It's
Yeah,
kind of like a
that's
surprise.
always good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
But I've got a short list, maybe about a half a dozen people.
Does that
I
fuel
could-
you to like be the next thing? To like be like show them? Or
I'm
what?
not interested in showing. I've already shown the
Okay.
world what I do and how I do it. There's no
Okay.
question of that. I've already eclipsed my peers
Okay.
in an early. It's been fun.
That's how. How long did it take you to get like? I guess like the first taste of success where you knew, like what was it? I mean, you're on Laughs.
Oh, when I did. Okay. Early 2000s.
Okay.
I moved to England. I think December 2014.
Okay.
So I started comedy in 96, and then by the late 90s, I'd won like funniest comic in Canada, and then I got on some other stuff, and then I was a host of a few different, a judge on a like Pop Idol type show.
Oh, really?
And then
You?
I had a sketch show. Yeah, it was
Okay.
called Pop Stars, and I was actually going to get fired from it because I farted on my co-host at the judges table because she's driving me nuts. And the sound guy almost dropped the mic into the shot. Anyway, but then I did a stand-up special. So I was pretty Wild West leading up to my first stand-up performance.
Okay.
And there was concerns about what I was going to do. And yet I produced a 50-page script of everything that I writ my entire stand-up
Yeah.
set into a screenplay,
Okay.
more or less. So it was very detailed. So I wanted to cover my ass so that I wasn't going to be cut out of my own success.
Yeah.
Do this hour show, standing ovation, and then I won like an Emmy Award for Canadians have a version, I think they've changed it since then, called the Gemini Award. And it was the highest television thing that you could do in Canada. Like it was and then probably the call from Saturday Night Live. There was a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I had 2 auditions for SNL in 2001
Really?
and won this award. So that was kind of the first. I was just running with my arms off
Yeah.
for years because I didn't know what was going on. the only thing I had as an example was, you know, Jim Carrey's career. That was the only kind of model that I could look at. I studied his A&E biography, and I looked at more or less a business plan of success and his process to a certain degree and tenacity.
Yeah.
You know.
I love Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah.
I love watching his story too. And every time you see his little snippets of what he says and drops knowledge, you're just like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Jim had a podcast.
yeah, you should do it.
Fuck.
You have an Emmy? That's insane.
Yeah. No, and the reason I brought that up was because it was a successes for a few
No, and that's
reasons.
what I asked you. No, it's awesome.
It got a green card. It allowed me to be have a green card.
Okay, and it allowed you to travel to more places.
Yeah. No, the first time I went on stage was a success.
Okay.
Everything after that was gravy. The first step was probably the most.
That makes
I
sense.
had a transformation off the stage. It was like having all the rust knocked off and really looking at
Your
what was
first
underneath.
time.
Yeah,
Really?
I found that I had shed an old skin that was itchy and had to go, and I started to slide in like I was like a tadpole.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, that makes sense. And on that note, it's like I've been feeling the same way lately. I ever since moving to Austin, shedding a skin, it's been painful. It's been good, and I think what happened was I just started to realize I got to be just started to be more myself and not like try to conform to anybody and just really embrace who I am, because if I'm not doing it, I'm holding myself back. And I've been feeling really good about everything I've been doing. It's been nice. It's been growing too.
And you've had the series, look, Mom and Dad's House, L.A., Austin, within a year?
Yeah, I went actually, so I was in L.A., COVID happened, and I'm like, I can't leave. But then I did. So I had to go back to Michigan because I didn't have any money. I lost my job and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So I had to go back to Michigan. And then from Michigan, we went we toured to Oklahoma and Dallas. And
That's a weird way, pulling back into Michigan after Hollywood. But it's out of your control.
It was.
But isn't that nice?
Yeah,
Opposed to like, hey, shithead's back.
Yeah, but I also did it, and it was a good thing. COVID sucked, but for me, I almost needed it. It was a reset.
100.
I
100.
I reset.
100.
I learned a shit ton. Like, I did so much learning during that whole process. Then I went down to Dallas, loved it, moved there for 4 months, and then to Austin. So in 2 years, it was like 3 cities, and it was a lot.
It's exhausting.
It was exhausting, and I'm happy because I signed the lease, and it was like something I needed just to hold
anchor.
me down. I needed that fucking anchor.
That's what it was like when I signed this lease here. I was like, okay, this is home base
I'm just
for more than a year.
I needed it. And the way that Austin's going, it's good, and I'm getting my time in, and I'm doing a lot of shit, and I'm just like taking a breath, but working hard as I can because I needed that base, and I have not felt a base in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's helpful.
Especially coming from a home environment to like, you're literally suitcase, travel here. Where do I get food? Who's in the neighborhood? Is this a bad, when do I leave? Can I buy things? Because I have to pack them.
Yeah. And that's
how much shit have you thrown out?
You know what? I've traveled very minimalist.
Okay.
The move to LA, I packed my car, and then in LA, I bought I got a bed and a TV maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't buy much, and then luckily I didn't. My house got fucked up in LA, then the power was out. I had to pack up my room with my phone light and a flashlight, and my car lights flashing into the house, so I could pack up my shit, which was 3 boxes. I put it in the car, and I fucking went to Michigan. The landlord fucked us so hard, and the power got cut off.
How much did she get you for?
Not much.
$500?
It was just $500 a month to rent a shitty room in this old cracked down house. And I even had to paint the room before I moved in. That's how bad it was. Nothing was clean. The people that lived there were fucking messy.
Yeah, I know. It's
ex-meth addicts.
It's such a someone else will deal with it.
And that's the fucking thing in LA. Everybody will deal with it. No one ever takes responsibility in LA. And it's just it's not my fault. I didn't know. And I can't stand that shit when people are just like, I don't know.
And it all rolls down to the service industry.
Yeah.
They get fucking shit on, but most of them are suicidal actors anyway. What do you got coming up? You're pretty active.
I'm pretty active. Good stuff's happening. Actually, this Sunday, Afro Sundays at Creek in the Cave.
I saw the advertisement for that.
Yeah, I made that.
That's cool. Are you hosting a...
My friend's hosting. Genevieve?
Yeah, I know Genevieve.
Yeah, Genevieve's one of
Yeah.
my... Yeah, she's from Michigan. So Genevieve is from Michigan along with Marcus.
She smashed it on Kill Tony.
Dude, she's killing it.
Yeah.
She's like, ever since we moved down here. Cause
More women.
Yeah, we need more women.
More women in
good.
Austin.
Yeah.
The guys here suck.
Yeah.
They're terrible in bed, and they struggle through most of
Yeah.
it.
They don't understand the rhythm.
No,
They don't
bring
get
the
rhythm.
ladies.
Bring the ladies, please. Yeah, we moved. We were actually living with each other in Dallas. Her and Marcus. We all lived together in a house. But we moved down here, and she got up on Kill Tony once, and it's changed her life.
Excellent.
It's amazing. Yeah, so we're doing her show at Creek in the Cave on Sunday, 8:00. That's a good thing. And then I
Yeah.
also got my own podcast too, called Going Through It with Justin Essenmacher. It's a very emotional ride.
Yeah.
That's every Thursday. So there'll be
The
episodes.
podcast is called what?
Going Through It.
Going Through It.
Yeah.
Okay, like a slow birth.
Yeah. And it's funny because ever since I made that name, that's all I hear. Everybody's going through something.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it might turn into a T-shirt.
yeah, I want it to.
How about going through it with an arrow pointing to your head?
That would make sense.
You know, like going through it, opposed to like Home of the Whopper with the arrow pointing down to the dick. You know that
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High type.
I like that actually.
Yeah, going through it
In
with
an
an
arrow.
arrow up.
Yeah. I think you just.
I'm
Damn,
very
dude.
good. I
Wow.
lost my marketing job. No, I haven't had a real job in ever. Like I haven't had a day job in 20 years. I
I was gonna say, yeah,
you.
you haven't,
Yeah.
have you? You've been living off this shit.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's wild.
It's weird. And also, I got a movie on Amazon.
Yeah.
Check that out. It's and I'm doing a bunch of things. I'm waiting to hear back about Europe. We're going to see what's going to happen.
What's happening in Europe, if you can?
Well, I usually do a Europe tour every second year,
Really?
and it's like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Iceland, and I'm going to try and add Poland and Germany to this year's
Wow.
one. So we'll see if the world opens up to a level that I can get on some more airplanes.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What is comedy like over there? Is it good?
It's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sweet.
And when you say over there, you know, I listed 6 countries
Yeah.
and they're all very different.
Yeah.
All very
so I mean,
different.
all of them though, like very
Sweden
Open.
probably has the worst comedy scene.
really. But do they like good comedy?
They-
Obviously,
yeah.
because you're going back. You said every 2 years. It must be.
I
good.
usually go to Sweden more or less for the lifestyle. I usually do a couple of shows.
What's the lifestyle in Sweden?
It's awesome. I love Stockholm. Denmark is like
Is it relax?
it's cool.
Nice.
It's you know what? You would enjoy it. Genuine.
Yeah.
They're kind of they might come off as like quiet. Like first of all, you get on a subway and no one's talking.
Okay.
There's no eye contact. They stick to
Okay.
themselves.
Yeah.
They're nice. They speak English perfectly, and they're gorgeous. They're more reserved. Like the Danish are just like the wildest.
Are they?
Yeah. The Finnish don't give a shit about Denmark or Sweden.
Cool.
And Norway thinks they're the best.
Oh, okay.
And Iceland doesn't really even care about the rest of the planet. They're just happy you showed up. They're so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Iceland, I couldn't believe it how they were just so, all of them are very nice, but Iceland was just like, it was the closest thing to going to another planet. And
Really?
seeing the same species.
That'd be so cool.
It's very cool.
I'm so uncultured.
Yeah, but I
feel-
think
yeah.
you're curious enough that you would actually take some risks and
Yeah.
try to go to other places.
I would love to. You know the funny? I don't even have a passport. I know.
Americans.
I know, and
Get
it's
that
not
shit.
I
You're
know.
limited. Why would you just want to be a stand-up comedian in the U.S.?
You
Why?
know, I guess because I
Not-
haven't
look
thought.
at all the
I haven't
states.
thought that far.
Look at all the states. First of all, you can look at the states and go, pretty much these are never going to happen for me.
Yeah, they're boring. I don't want to go
Yeah,
there.
and you're not going to have an audience. So now you're dealing with, so many states are left. How many comedy clubs in each one? Is that your career? I don't know.
No, not
you,
at-
you live
I
on
mean,
a planet.
Yeah, I know, and that's what sucks about
Why not go
having.
in Hong Kong and get a standing ovation on a TV show that no one's speaking English on?
That'd be cool.
That would be totally
Have you
cool.
done that?
In Russia, yeah. I did stand up on a Russian television show, and there was no English until they said my name. That's happened a bunch of times.
Really?
You're in countries.
And how does it go? Do they have a translator or what the hell?
No. The shows are look at most of Europe speaks English.
Yeah.
And large portions of it, you wouldn't be able to detect an accent in some cases.
Okay.
Russia was definitely the most extreme version of English as a second language. It was bad.
Bad?
It was bad.
Why was it bad?
It was bad because, you go to a festival in Eastern Europe and they'll have their indigenous local languages for most of it, and then they'll go English night, and they'll have some international acts that speak English. So they'll bring in, English night, so English-speaking people will come.
Yeah.
Well, what they had done in Russia, they played 2 shows, and then the Saturday show was the international show.
Okay.
But I think they were using the same mailing list. So all these Russian people wanted to see English comedy like he was going to juggle or something like that. And it was a disaster. Everybody bombed. I had to fly all the way to Moscow, get a visa, come back. But I would definitely go back. It was such an interesting place. Even in the winter, and I despise the snow now. You've seen some snow.
Yeah. How bad it has to be terrible in Russia.
Terrible.
It has to be
Terrible.
brutal.
It's cold.
Depressing.
It's cold. It's like a giant nickel mill with the hottest women you've ever seen working in it with fur coats. I've never seen 13 people with full-length fur coats waiting at a bus stop. And my friend says everyone keeps a bottle of vodka inside their coat to keep them warm. They have to sip on the vodka so they don't freeze to death.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Michigan was cold, but no, that just sounds...
Yeah. And there's something old. Like, you look around the city, look around in an American city where there's bad weather, but you go to a place that's been around for hundreds of years, and you're like, this place is here for a reason. People have learned to survive here.
Yeah.
How do they do that? This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
They used to have, I saw a random thing, speaking of cold shit, it was like a Netflix or whatever. It was a documentary of where they kept a prison up somewhere far, far, and the temperatures would get like negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Yeah.
It was...
Yeah, you die of
And
exposure.
it was a camp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing fine.
I mean, it was a prison. Yeah.
We're doing fine.
We're doing okay.
And I've got that perspective from traveling and being in places where, this is your fucking life forever.
That's
I'm
sad.
leaving.
Yeah, I'm gone. Bye.
You guys are, they don't have those choices. Some of these ghettos and the worst parts of Detroit will look like the nice parts of some of these countries.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy. Yeah.
It's Austin is a fucking.
This is a fairy tale land.
It's totally fairy tale.
It's
land.
fairy tale land for all of us.
And if you don't believe me, go to 6th Street.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Lollipop Guild lives. It was a Wizard of Oz joke that kind of fell flat. Thanks for being on the show.
Dude, thanks for having me. This was awesome.
We're going to have some fun this year. And ideally, the comedy circuit will start to expand. And we'll start to see each other in strange places around the world doing what we love.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mixed up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe word with Jason Rouse.